Kim, what is our first main topic today?
All right, guys, our first main topic comes from Party Time Gandalf. Hey, all. So I've just read a report saying that The Raid is being rebooted with Gareth Evans still on board, but here's the big twist. He's bringing Michael Bay to come and play. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this news. A new take on The Raid, interesting. Michael Bay being involved has immediately made me not so sure. What are your thoughts on this news?
All right, thanks a lot for saying this in. Now, listen, for 10 years, there has been discussions, whispers, things going on about a revisiting of The Raid. There was supposed to be a North American version of The Raid that I think Evans was himself going to direct at one point, and then there was going to be another Raid done in the original language, and a lot of things have been going on with it the last couple of years. And it now looks like it's going to be it's going to be a Netflix thing. It's going to be a retelling of it. It's a North American version of it. This comes to us from the folks over at The Hollywood Reporter who write the following. The action movie arena has finally seen director Gareth Evans get behind a reimagining of his 2011 film, The Raid. Patrick Hughes will direct a new take on the cult classic for Netflix with Michael Bay and XYZ Films producing. We're going to talk about XYZ in a second. Hughes, whose film credits include The Hitman's Bodyguard, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, and The Man from Toronto, which we have yet to see, will pen the latest version of The Raid with James Beaufort. Evans and Range Media Partners will executive produce. The first question that comes to my mind is, why isn't Gareth Evans directing this? I mean, there've been talk for a long time. I can't believe that he's not interested in it. I got to believe he's interested in it. Is it that, and now look, I'll say this about, and I own The Raid and The Raid 2, or as they are also called, Rob?
The Rad and The Rad 2, even radder.
The proper name for these films, as Rob has pointed out. I own both of them. I like these films. Let's be honest. The strength of these films layeth not in their Shakespearean narrative. And okay, it is this simply maybe the most bonkers action films ever. I'm not saying that definitively, but they're in the discussion. And so I don't know if this is a North American producer saying, well, we'll only put the money behind it, but you need a different director. Because this guy, I don't know. Why is Gareth Evans not directing this? Now, I understand that for some people, the name Michael Bay being attached to this can maybe be a little bit off-putting. I will say this. He's not directing. I think Michael Bay's done a pretty decent job with his producing. I really do. He's produced some films I actually really, really like. Hell, he's directed some films that I really, really like.
Yeah.
On top of that, I'm actually a little bit of a Michael Bay defender. I will not defend Transformers 2 onwards, but
Come on, man. Dark of the Moon's rad.
I hate Dark of the Moon. I hate that
Battle
one too.
of Chicago, it starts on the moon.
I mean, the Battle of Chicago looks good, but it's just this visual mess.
They destroy Chicago. The last 45 minutes of that movie is sheer cinematic orgasm.
I mean, if he had co-directed that with Emmerich, we would have had something.
Are you being serious?
I am being serious.
He's
Don't call me Shirley.
No, he loves that. He loves that
wow.
movie, man. He loves that movie. But, I mean, so there you go. I'm a little iffy on Patrick Hughes directing. I like The Hitman's Wife Bodyguard. I didn't love it, but I like The Hitman's Wife Bodyguard. Or sorry, the Hitman's Bodyguard. Then there's The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which I'm not a big fan of. We'll see what happens with The Man from Toronto. That sounds interesting. Although Jason Statham, I think, was lined up to star in that, and then he backed out, and I can't remember who replaced him. But at any rate, so I don't really know about him directing, but we'll see. It could work out fine. A little bit of history for you guys. XYZ Films, who is the company behind The Raid 2, and they're producing this new one as well. Actually, one of their main guys is a guy who went to Bible college with me. His name's Todd Brown. He also used to write with me on my old website, The Movie Blog, many years ago. And then he spun off and created like the world's best foreign Asian film website.
It truly was.
It truly was. It was called twitchfilm.net. And then they changed the name of it to Screen Anarchy, I think they changed because Twitch became a big thing. So they were constantly getting twitchfilm.net confused with Twitch, so they switched it to that. Then he went on to become like the programmer for, what was the name of the film festival again?
Fantastic
Fest. And then he's like a guy at XYZ Film. So it's really super exciting to see Todd doing this kind of stuff. So I'm a little bit biased for this as well. I'm not going to lie. This is not how I wanted to see a Raid remake. I did not want to see a Raid remake. I want to see that on the big screen. I never got to see the Raid or the Raid 2 on the big screen. I always had to settle with the watching on a freaking TV. I've always wished I could see it on a big screen. And I was excited to find out years ago that they're going to try to do a North American remake. I want to see that on the big screen. I want to see that directed by Gareth Evans. That's what I wanted to see. So I'm of mixed feelings here. I mean, he's connected to it. That's great. He's going to be a producer of it. That's nice. But Rob, you and I know being a producer on a film could mean he just has a couple of phone calls and really isn't creatively involved. I mean, I don't know. So I'm a little bit torn with this. We want to take a second and thank a sponsor of this video, HelloFresh. Now, listen, guys, if you are anything like me or Ann, Ann and I are both working professionals. We don't have a lot of time. And what that often meant was, when it would come to dinner time, we would either settle with making subpar meals or ordering fast food way too much. I like fast food once in a while, but we were eating fast food way too much. That's why something like HelloFresh was an absolute godsend for us. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Listen, with HelloFresh, you'll be cooking and eating great looking and great tasting meals without the hassle of going to the grocery store and trying to remember everything you need to get on the recipe list, and you'll be paying less. And look, I get it. You are probably saying to yourself or saying to me through the screen, John, you don't get it. I don't know how to cook. I'm telling you, with HelloFresh, you can. Because the packages don't just come with all the ingredients properly portioned out already for you, but they also include clear, easy to follow instructions with images that you'll have no problems following. In 30 minutes or less, you'll be eating great and feeling pretty damn good about yourself looking at the meal that you prepared. So right now, guys, go on over to HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use the code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. So HelloFresh, everybody, America's #1 meal kit. Rob, you are a big fan of The Rad.
The Rad. Oh,
what do you think about this new? All things considered, Evans is involved, but he's not direct. I mean, I don't know how you feeling about this.
Okay, this new Raid is set in Philadelphia, apparently, and it's about the drug-infested area of Philadelphia, and the cops go in. Here's the thing. The thing about The Raid is it's a martial arts movie. I mean, it's all about hand-to-hand combat, and it's insane. And the characters, this Indonesian SWAT team, which, by the way, Muslim main character is Muslim, which I always liked about this movie, leads this troop of cops into a tenement building that's completely infested with drug dealers. And the whole thing is about martial arts. Now, count me crazy, but American cops are not known for their hand-to-hand combatant skills with the drug dealers that are also great martial artists. Now maybe
what?
Maybe so. I mean, maybe it's like a heightened version. I mean, I think it's really interesting. I've often said that I love Asian science fiction, I love Asian fantasy, I love Asian action films, but there is a sense of whimsy even in a movie like The Raid, where everybody's a martial artist. Like, no one just walks in there with massive artillery and kills everybody. They have to fight hand to hand. I just don't think that's American police tactics. So unless, and that's one of the appeals of this movie, which I think is great. Now, on the other hand, I think back to movies like Judge Dredd and perhaps the first.
Very similar themes there.
First and best of tenement owned by drug dealers, the great New Jack City, directed by Mario Van Peebles. I love that movie.
Nino Brown,
one of the great villains of all time, maybe rivaling Tony Montana. What a team up that would have been. So I don't know. I want it to be good. The talent's there, John, but will it be as rad as The Rad is? Will it be as rad as The Rad 2, even radder? I don't know, because my rad level is very specific.
there's a certain amount of rad,
and I'm not
which
talking
must
about
be involved.
Radiation.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I hope it's good, but the fact that it's going to be a Netflix original does not give me a lot of hope. And
I want to say that Gareth Evans he has a TV series on in the UK called Gangs of London.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So hope springs eternal.
I enjoyed Gangs of London. I mean, I've not caught up all the way, but I've enjoyed it up to a point.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good.
We'll see. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? We're getting a North American version of The Raid, and Gareth Evans is involved. Yay! He's not directing it, and it's going straight to Netflix. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I'm honestly torn. I don't know how I feel about it. How do you guys feel about it? Whatever it is you're feeling, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.